Now, at first you may try just to calculate this tip amount text field times your tip percentage. Well, let's see what happens when we do that. Let tip amount equals tip amount text field dot text times tip percentage. What do you think is going to happen? We get an error. Why? Because this is actually a string and this is a double, as you can see here. Even though this is a number here, anything entered in a text field is text, which is a string. So we have to convert this text to a double. And it's also optional, because we don't know if someone's going to enter anything in this text field or not. Let's just go ahead and delete this for now. Let's demonstrate this. I'm adding a print statement so I can actually debug what's in tip amount text field.text. I can see that this value is optional. I don't know if there's anything in this field. If I delete everything and hit calculate tip again, it could be nil. Nil values will crash the compiler, so I need to unwrap this value. So what we have to do is unwrap this text and guard to see if it's there. We'll get more into the guard statement in our Swift handbook course, but for now I just want you to see this code. Tip amount text field.text else return. And we'll do print bill total. So what's happening here is it's guarding to see that there's actual text in this text field. And if not, it's not going to execute the rest of the code. It's just going to return. So what happens here? I can calculate tip. I get 0.0. Or maybe it's $50. Now I get these numbers without the optional. Now that we have a value from the input, let's try this tip calculation again. Let tip amount equal bill total times tip percentage. You think that's going to work, but we're still going to get an error. Why is that? Because this is text and this is a double. We've unwrapped the optional, so we know that bill total actually exists. Now we have to add another guard statement to cast this as a double. I went ahead and added another guard statement that you can just copy into your own code. This code converts the string to a double safely. So let's see what happens now. Now when I enter 50, okay, we get 10. But if I were to enter Wombat in here, it says you must enter a number. It's not going to calculate the tip on that and crash. So $10. No. Or if I were to put just 10, even though 10 is technically an integer, I'm casting it as a double here. So I can take a double times a double, and this equation works. Guarding against your input values are one of the most important concepts you can learn in all business programming. It doesn't seem too exciting, but doing this actually saves a lot of bugs down the road. Now finally, we're ready to actually display our output. Now we can show the user our tip. As we learned in our Swift course, we can use that fancy concatenation we learned. Swift tip. Then we can put the variable tip amount here. So now when I run it, I can enter in 50, calculate the tip. The tip is 10. Or 30, calculate the tip. Tip is 6. And you can make this even more fancy by putting a dollar sign here. We'll have the bill total. As you can see here, our label isn't big enough to display everything. We could change this by just coming here and dragging it here. Then we'll hit this again. $30, the tip is $6. You've just built a working tip calculator. Although this may seem simple, you can see there's less than 40 lines of code here. Everything we've done here are the building blocks of more complicated apps. You can see how we've used Swift. You've seen how we've connected Interface Builder to our code to build actions and outlets. Congratulate yourselves! You built your first app. The tip calculator is a rite of passage. Almost every mobile developer builds a tip calculator. You're one step closer to being a professional app developer. Congratulations and good job. And remember, it takes a few apps before you're going to understand everything we're doing here and be able to do it on your own. For now, just watch and take it all in. As you move along, this will become like second nature to you. Now it seems confusing, but in a few days of working with this, it's going to seem like second nature. Congratulations. You've now built an app and you're well on your way to becoming an app developer.